Your body is a robot following instructions from the mind. And in this section, I'm going to explain to you how that is and how your birth and your uterus can be affected by fear. If fear is all that you carry in your mind, fear, panic, worry about your birth, upcoming birth, I'm going to explain to you how that can affect your uterus and indeed your whole birth experience. So in this worksheet, your body is a robot in taking instructions from the mind and how fear affects the uterus. There are 3 columns. We have your conscious mind, we have the conscious critical factor running down the side, and another word for that is just the filter, and we have the subconscious mind, which is governed by the autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is responsible for all your automatic, subconscious, unconscious functions of your body. Everything you don't have to control or think about, your body just does it for you, right? So your body kicks into one of 2 different gears. It either kicks into your parasympathetic nervous system mode, which is also known as the feed and breed and birth or rest and digest portion of your autonomic nervous system, or it kicks into your sympathetic nervous system, also known as fight, flight or freeze portion of the autonomic nervous system. We also know that to be called the survival mode. So hopefully right now, as you are sitting listening to this course and looking at this table, you are all functioning in your parasympathetic nervous system mode. Hopefully you are not functioning in your sympathetic nervous system mode. So some examples of emotional states under the parasympathetic nervous system mode are words like serene, calm, relaxed, peaceful, in your equilibrium, safe and secure. And on the other side, your sympathetic nervous system mode emotional states, panicked, worry, fearful, terror, in survival mode, threatened and unsafe. Now, I wish I could say that we should spend 100% of our time in our parasympathetic nervous system mode, but that would be completely unrealistic, and 0% in our sympathetic nervous system mode. Because in certain instances, we need to be able to respond with our nervous system being in the sympathetic mode, right? If we're in a hijacking situation or a scary situation that requires us to survive, right, to either fight and flight, hopefully not freeze, but in some situations we do need to freeze if there's a snake coming at us, right? So we respond appropriately with the sympathetic nervous system response. And we need that in our lives to be able to survive situations. So 2 to 5% of our time should be in that zone versus 95 to 98% of our time should be spent in our parasympathetic nervous system mode. We all know that we probably spend much more time in the sympathetic nervous system mode with life being what it is, quite stressful, deadline-driven lives that we live. And then looking at the functions of the body, blood flow, heart rate, breathing is normal, regular and optimal in your parasympathetic nervous system mode versus abnormal, irregular and suboptimal in your sympathetic nervous system mode. It must be noted that it would be normal if you weren't in the birth state, right? To have the blood flow, heart rate and breathing in that way in your sympathetic nervous system mode. But because we're talking about birth here and what's normal for birth, we want to be birthing in your parasympathetic nervous system mode, right? Which is where you sink into your limbic brain as opposed to sinking into your reptilian brain or even into your neocortex brain, which is too much thinking. So Michelle O'Don speaks about the fact that if you think you can have a full-on conversation with the mother in labor, you are fooling yourself, because she's not there. She's not functioning there. She's functioning in her limbic brain, which is deeper in her brain. And the limbic brain is also responsible for your emotional nature. As human beings, that's the seat of our emotional side. And our reptilian brain is our instinctive nature, and our neocortex brain is our analytical nature.